Hi, my name is Matthew Delamore, and I'll be presenting on rising tides in the San Francisco Peninsula. So overview is sea levels in San Francisco. We'll go over storm surges and their part, thermal expansion, Greenland and Antarctica, and glaciers. This little graphic, you can see all those and how much they add a year. And NASA says a third of it comes from Greenland and Antarctica, a third is from thermal expansion, and a third is from glaciers. A little bit different than this graphic. So why are sea levels rising? So thermal expansion, a third of the cause. As water heats up, as you can see in this graphic on the top, it takes up more volume, and that's because the molecules gain more energy, so they move around more, and that just takes up more space. NASA says 90% of greenhouse gas heat is absorbed by the oceans. Glaciers and ice sheets. So as they melt, NASA says by 2100, Greenland and Antarctica will add 3 to 6 feet, possibly more, of water to the oceans, and glacier loss has quintupled over the last 40 years from 6.7 inches to 33 inches. Subsidence or subduction of land is an issue here in the bay. We built on a lot of marshland, and a lot of the other land is newer form, so it's not compacted already, and then we build on it, so it gets more pressure. And so Foster City, near where I live, is subsiding at 4 millimeters a year, according to NASA, on track to subside by 11.8 inches by 2100. Ocean circulation will actually redistribute the heat going into the ocean across the whole ocean, and fresh water that's coming in will also be redistributed, it'll make the seawater less dense and add even more volume. So some predictions here we can see. This on the left is from the NOAA in 2022. They predict a high of 7 feet by 2100, a low of 1 foot. And then on the right, this is from the OPC California organization, worked with some other people on this. It says showing 12 feet rise by past 2140. I put these two together just to show that, depending upon where you look, you'll see different predictions, because this is all, we don't know for sure. We can do the best that we can, but people come to different conclusions. So here again from the NOAA, they worked with a collection of 8 major U.S. institutions on this, including NASA, the USGS, FEMA, Department of Homeland Security, and Department of Defense. Again, showing 2.1 meter rise, or if you look on the left side, nearly 7 feet by 2100 as a high. And they say that 30% of the population in the country lives on coasts, and that minor floods will increase by 10-fold. Major floods will increase by 5-fold, and definitely a 2-foot rise by 2100, and possibly another 3.5 to 7 feet on top of that, depending upon how we do with emissions. So here's some effects on the SF Peninsula. I made these maps using ArcGIS and data from government organizations and free data online. So this is from the Census Bureau. It shows vulnerability index. You can see in the bay, a lot of the people who live along the water in the bay are generally poorer. And then on the right, we have a 1-foot water level increase, which is covering a lot of those people already. And we also have some submerged major highways already. And so storm surge flooding, as you can see in this depiction down below, which this happens here, we get El Niños that come in. It's happened the past few years. Pretty widespread flooding across the bay. But as it comes in, it's already much higher. There's nowhere for the falling rain to drain out to because the tides are higher, and so it just doesn't have anywhere to go. And possibly it can run up like beaches and over top. It's not as much of an issue because we have a lot of cliffs on the side, but up near San Francisco, that is an issue. In this map on the right that I made, you can see where it says a 14-foot swell. So this would be a 2-foot sea level rise plus a 12-foot swell from a storm surge or whatnot, like a king tide. It'd be 14 feet underwater from where we currently are. And all these red are major freeways and roadways that people would be trying to use to escape underwater, and a lot of people underwater. I was able to use census data to figure out that 450,000 people as of 2016 out of nearly a million would be underwater. So what can we do? So we can build seawalls, levees, or natural restoration. Here's a picture of Foster City where they were building a seawall. This was a few years ago. It's built now. This is a very, very low tide in this picture because what looks like water there is actually just the mud flats. You can see where the water normally gets up to, and it's about a 3-foot seawall. Levees and marshes. So picture on the left is natural marshland here. That would, if we restored that, it would help to soak up a lot of water. We've built on them homes. A lot of them have been turned into salt farms, sea salt farms, and other industrial uses. And here's a picture on the right of a natural levee and how that would look. Now this could be an issue with the storm surge, as we saw before. Could run up that hill and just go over. So relocation might be the best option, but it's expensive. It's difficult for people without friends or family or who might be disabled. Where does everybody go? And it disrupts communities as a whole. And unfortunately, it's not an easy thing. We can't stop the ocean from rising. We might be able to slow it down, but this might be the only option. And there's citations. Thanks for listening. This picture and the picture in the front I also took.